Hello and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. I'm Count Christo and this is Luxembourg's Lux Invicta. Last episode we finally capitulated the Soviet Union, which took a little while but not too bad. Obviously many years before the Soviet Union even began its strike back against Germany in the canon history. And we of course got ourselves Azerbaijan, which is fantastic, gives us loads of oil to fuel our invasion of America, which has not gone fantastically to start off with. We probably started it a bit prematurely, but you see the AI doesn't disappoint in this game, or rather it does, and it looks like they're going to let us take a bit of ground here. I'm aware that we started this a bit early. I don't really regret that. This isn't a campaign about trying to make it all easy for ourselves, so we might as well accept the challenge, push on through. They're giving us Buffalo, lovely. I like this little push here. I like the nice flat border here. It's very nice. Let's just mop up all these provinces over here. Perfect. We don't need to have a front line on the lake, of course. Right. So, next problem, getting these guys over the ocean to America. Now, we do have quite a lot of convoys all of a sudden. That's interesting. Why is that? Interesting. Oh yes, of course, we had a little bit of an issue down in Africa, which is that we are at war with the Allies, which is currently the US, South Africa, New Zealand, Philippines. So we're going to have to work on holding this area, was my plan. Here are the guys coming down to see if they can do it. How many provinces wide is this? 3. See, that's a really good river to hold. Let's see if we can get... Oh, that's already how it was. Let's see if we can get to there in time. Doesn't look like we can. These guys are already... Oh no, they're standing still. So there's hope. A couple of divisions, these 5, should probably do it, really. If those are my divisions, rather than... No, those are Italians. That's not so promising then. AI's divisions are never going to be nearly as good as the ones that the player designs, of course. Alright, let's send 5 of my crack troops down here. So one thing about the war with the US, when you're fascist you can justify war goals while at war with a major power in very short time. I think it's minus 50%? I'm not sure about that. Let me just check. Yeah, minus 80%. Huge difference. It's hugely quicker. So before the US capitulates, we're going to want to justify on everyone in America, because we're going to declare a huge war against them once this war with America's over. There'll probably be a South American faction form up. But we don't want to declare on them while still at war with... Ah, interesting. If we justify on people down here that won't become major powers, then we can annex their land just by killing the US if we can get them to join the Allies. Okay, that's interesting. We'll have to look into that when we're closer to the time. But for now, we need to focus on redeploying... which of the people did I send down here? That's the question. Those 5. Okay, so the rest of you I want to deploy to Brittany and then get ready to deploy to the New World. Ooh, lots of lots of military police hanging out just here. You have your orders. Why aren't you already being transported? Do we not have enough convoys? No, we do have enough convoys to send all of them off. What size are my military police? Oh yeah, they're titchy, so they have almost no weight. Weight, incidentally, is what determines how many convoys something requires. You can see it, where is it? Just there. 0.5 for each of these, so that's good. Right, so all of these guys are now redeploying over here. Oh, grab you two as well. Put them over here. Now, does anyone not have an order? Doesn't look like it. Cool. Oh yes, of course, we've got lots of Japanese divisions hanging out over here. That's not ideal. I don't want to waste convoys and room on Japanese divisions, so actually I'm going to disband the Japanese divisions. And disbanding expeditionary forces, unfortunately, in this case, doesn't mean you just kill them. It means you hand them back over to the nation that gave them to you. I'm going to do the same... Well, I'm not going to do it to the Italian divisions, because some of them are down here about to help us out. Okay, let's get some actual... let's get some combat going. We continue to ignore the air war, which, apart from anything else, will continue to demonstrate that you can just ignore the air war in Hearts of Iron 4, even if you're playing as a tiny little nation. I'm sure it's slightly suboptimal, but I just want to get as many troops as possible out into the field. How can we push in there? No. Oof, quite a few divisions just there. But look at the stats on our guys. 125 on an infantry division. Breakthrough, that is. That's fantastic. That's really fantastic. Breakthrough, if you don't know, is defense, but when you're on the offensive... Ah, they did redeploy into Buffalo. That's irritating. So your breakthrough indicates the amount of hits you have to take before you start taking damage when you're on the offensive. So we successfully pushed down here into Seattle. That's good. If we could just wrap that up, that would be grand. We could push in here and take Spokane, I think that's pronounced. I'm not sure. You'll have to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Let's keep pushing down here. Yep, easy wins there. You two push in here. Crossing a river, so yeah, it's not a wise attack. We're crossing a river here as well, of course, but there's not much on the other side by the looks of it. Keep pushing in there. The attack on Buffalo doesn't appear to be going well, so I'll call that off again. But, oh, for goodness sake. Not quite the border I was going for. Let's just adjust those. There we go. Okay, look, great. We've taken most of New England. Of course, there's no... We declared over New England, as you may recall, but there's no system of war goals or really any significant system of war score in Hoi 4, so it doesn't really matter that we've taken the area we were aiming to take. The war will continue until they capitulate regardless. There is war score, but I honestly have no idea what calculates it. I mean, war is going 6% in favour of the aggressors. I have no idea. No idea what that means. I mean, presumably it means it's going our way, but I think the only effect that war score has is when the losers can surrender, and the losers never surrender because of low war score, in my experience, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, looks like we can push in here and here. Nice, 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 nice. Lots of people are going to request to join our wars, and we are going to resolutely say nope. I'm going to roleplay a bit of polite Poland. My goodness. Not the prettiest front lines being drawn up there by the AI. Oh well. No matter. They keep abandoning Buffalo and then redeploying to it. It's very odd. I mean, we might get there in time this time. A day? Nope, they've got some guys there. I think they'll have more guys around. I guess they're moving lots of people between these two fronts, and so there's always someone around here to get in. They haven't managed to push against us up here, which I was a little concerned about, because it's a very thin defence up here. But they haven't even tried to push into it much yet. Which is good. It's good. I'm definitely not complaining. Let's see if we can push in here a bit. 7 guys there. Seems like an interesting deployment. It's probably because I ordered an attack on that area, which led to a weird conglomeration of people all gathering in the same place. It's usually my fault if people end up deploying that weirdly. Looks like these pushes aren't going so well. Let's call them off. Front line, stay where you are put, please. Thank you. Right, anyone arrived in Brittany? Yes, 2 extra RT divisions. Fantastic. Let's have them over here as soon as possible. No? Ah, out of convoys. For trade and supply. Maybe because I just started up the game that it wasn't showing how much we need for trade and supply. So we need another 200 convoys. I'd love some convoys, please. 16. I guess we'll take it. Italy, convoys. 1. Japan, convoys. Nope. Interesting. Ooh, look, Japan's landed up here in Manchukuo. The area of Manchukuo. You know, the country of Manchukuo. It's actually that word, which I have no idea how to say. Okay, so it looks like the Filipinos aren't landing in our Vietnamese possessions over here, which is good. It'd be irritating if they started doing that. I'm just hoping that they stay on their islands, basically. They do tend to, in my experience. So my experience is not very extensive fighting in this theatre. What on earth? Oh, because they had that silly front line. Oh well, at least this one guy here is managing to hold out perfectly well, which is good. How's the push going over here? Pretty good, pretty good. Okay, let's bump the speed. Once the reinforcements arrive, we'll start a proper full-scale offensive. How far out are they? Oh, well, it's the convoys limiting factor, isn't it? How about our military police? How far along are they? Oh, they're almost there. Once these guys land, we should have a bunch of free convoys. Decryption. It's 42. Let's get the next level of decryption. Well, let me just check if there's anything else really important. Like this. I would like nukes. I think we are going to try and capitulate Germany in a very short period of time. If we can. Oh no, we haven't got the advanced artillery. Well, we definitely need to focus on that. The plan for taking out Germany and Italy and Japan will be a very coordinated, I think, kind of lightning strike if we can do it. It'll be tricky. I guess paradrops into some big cities up here, simultaneous with a whole bunch of nukes going off across the world. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe it'll be more fun to make it a dragged out, difficult campaign against them. The easy way to take them out would be plan a whole bunch of paradrops, nuke every city in Germany, and then just land and take them out. How do we do in Africa? Hey, we arrived in time. Good. So we've secured our southern front. In fact, we have enough troops here now that I'm going to plan an attack. Probably not execute it. I don't believe that they are a major. As I recall, irritatingly enough, yes, New Zealand is being counted as a major player, which is a bit absurd if you ask me, but there we go. New Zealand could be a fun country to play. Ooh, look, the Japanese are really being pushed back over here. It's not good for them. Excellent for us, though. Anything to weaken the Japanese. When we go independent, unfortunately, we can't join a faction with China. But I would very much like to join a faction with China and fight the Axis that way. That would be fun. Right. Oh, they've left a bit of a gap just there. Hold them in place so they can't close the gap. More gaps. In fact, they've left so many gaps, I'm going to tell this front line to have at it. We only have to start our fabrications on the Southern Americans, you know, the last day of the war with the US, because fabrications time don't change. So even if we cease to be at war with a major, we still get the benefit from having been at war with a major when the war actually begun. Sorry, not when the war began, when the fabrication began. Okay, good. So the military police have landed, which means, yes, some of these guys have took off. Only one, though. Not quite what I was hoping for. Although we should still be banging out more and more convoys, right? Yeah, but... of course, I wanted to get a couple of submarines. Why did I want a couple of submarines? Yes, because I was thinking maybe we could do some naval shenanigans here, because there's only one enemy ship here. But that's not really necessary, so let's do that. And change the order of these. There we go. I still want some subs, just because when the enemy... What happened here? Those guys have loads of organisation. What on earth? Alright, stop this. You're mucking it up, AI. We did take Boston, that's good. I don't know how on earth that many divisions managed to retreat with full organisation, and well, not quite full, but very high organisation and supply. By supply, I mean equipment, strength. The orange bar represents strength, which is how much of their manpower and equipment they have at the current moment. So yeah, if you see your enemies with low orange bars, that means they're having supply problems. Sorry, as in supply and demand problems for equipment, which is when you really want to start pushing hard. That's good, that will very much help. More breakthrough there. Never had to do synthetic oil, that's good. What do we need? Right, we're very much behind on support companies. Wow, we don't have any recon. Oof, whoops a daisy. Okay, we're going to get on recon as soon as possible. They're really good. Recon divisions can be very helpful. Providence. I didn't know there was a city called Providence in the Eastern Seaboard. That's a cool name. Alright, let's see if we can push in here. They appear to be continuing to leave some unoccupied provinces, or just recently entered provinces. And of course, if they've just arrived, that means they've no entrenchment, which basically means they're no problem. Let's try Buffalo once again. Oh, 3 civilian factories, really? Wow, we finished all the repairs. Cool. We've got quite a lot of civilian factories. How many military factories do we have? Quite a few. Maybe some naval dockyards? Convoys are being an issue. Let's bang out some naval dockyards. Then, Maybe I should fort up over here. No, that's a long-term thing. We can do that later. If we're going to do a long war, one fun thing to do, way to beat Germany, would be to build a massively high-level forts around here, and then declare war on them, and just hold them here. It would be risky, though, because if Luxembourg fell, campaign would be over. Which would be very disappointing after all this glorious success we've been having. Would you stop mucking with my front lines? Thank you. Okay, push down there. Oh, there's no one there. Good. Pushing in here. Just keep pushing. Looking good. We don't need to frontline the... we do not need to frontline that lake. Is that a lake? It's connected. I don't know if this is an estuary or a river. I assume it's a river. Probably is a lake. There you go, terrain lake. That answers that question. Outdated. Hey, new submarines have been invented. Excellent. Ooh, we do not want to lose that much. So, when you invent a new level of ship, the way to not waste any production like this, easily, is to start a new production line of the more high-level submarines and change this so there's just one. That way, you don't lose any of the production on this, and as soon as these are finished, these we're going to transfer over to there. Or actually, in this case, most of them are going to transfer over onto convoys, which is fine. Right, so new research slot. Unfortunately, that doesn't make this go away, which is irritating. Now, what do we need? Oh yes, we need better decryption, so I stop getting all these question marks, because they do make it harder to make decisions. Let's push in. No, maybe not. But maybe a unified push? Yes, looks like it. Gonna pull out one of the divisions, so that we aren't left with a gap in our line there. Good. Take Providence. Are any more of our divisions being shipped across? Still just one. Ooh, we're being raided though. That's not great. Not much we can do about it, unfortunately. Do you have an order? Not sure. There's not much we can do about it. I think we just have to keep sending them and just live with the fact that we're going to get raided a bit. If I set these guys on convoy raiding around here, they might find someone. We can get our first admiral free. I could set them on convoy defense, but then they're going to engage that carrier, and the carrier would win, hands down, so I don't think there's much point in that. How are we doing down here? Good. Okay, let's just neaten up this front line a bit, if we can. Why isn't there a battle going on? There we go. Oh, the battle stopped again. They retreated. They've retreated. Cool. Just make this nice smooth front line. Save us the border gore. So Germany is at war with the US, but fortunately hasn't deployed a whole bunch of people to my front line over here, which would be problematic both in terms of supplies and in terms of them getting lots and lots of war score, neither of which would be good for us. A lack of supplies would be the thing that's not good for us, obviously, not supplies being bad for us. So. Can we push there? Yes, we can. So, approaching New York, Philadelphia. I thought Philadelphia was just the name of a state. It's a city. Learning all kinds of things today. Good. Pushing in here, no problem. Approaching New York. Washington's down there. Other Washington. We can add to our collection of Washingtons. Great. Not facing much resistance here. I didn't really expect to. Once you've got troops landed and you've got enough of a presence on the American mainland, and obviously we had all of Canada, so we had no problem in that regard. You can quite easily push over the US if you know what you're doing. And there goes New York. Fabulous. Keep pushing. Once again, I'm going to give a go at AI. Let's see if they can handle it. That's the one I want to extend. Just take all that. You still at low? Yeah, 55% national unity. That's really interesting. So if we take out lots of these, I mean, I can only imagine we'll get close to winning. Right. So we need to deal with New Zealand. Now, since we're powering through over here in America, so let's start naval invasion plans. I guess down here. If we attack near the capital, that's likely the best defended. Although this northern bit might not be. Let's give that a go. See if we can execute that plan. That's probably why I was building submarines, because we have to do a naval invasion over there in order to get anywhere over there. Ooh, I extended the wrong front line. Whoops, a daisy. Let's move that. It's this one that I want to get much bigger. There we go. So, ooh, they've left it open here. There's only 3 divisions there, so we need them to push to somewhere where their front line will be 3 provinces wide. So let's do that. Not many of them up here in the north, so maybe we should launch an offensive there. There's quite a few of them over here. That's probably why they're doing so badly over here. They've too heavily deployed onto their west coast. Good. New York's ours. Can we push over to Newark? Not quite. Okay. How many of these guys have set off? Not many. Still loads of them over here. You guys all get... Oh, maybe I haven't actually given them all the order. All of you are assigned to this attack order. But yes, we're still down... excuse me. Still down 50 convoys. Well, I think that's something we're going to have to deal with. What on earth? Strange graphical bug there. Something we're going to have to deal with next time. So, New York and Boston both fell. Fantastic. And we will see what we can do to push over the rest of the United States next time. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye.